Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Former President Barack Obama makes a visit to Detroit to rally for Democratic candidates. The former president made the trip ahead of midterm elections on November 8th, and today's visit was to gather support for Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, and other Democratic candidates. Grant Herms joins us now live from Renaissance High School tonight. And Grant, we know this is a part of Mr. Obama's first pre-election tour around the country.
And a very limited tour at that, Sandra. You know, people this morning started lining up at 5 a.m., more than 7 hours before the former president would actually take the stage. That line coming all the way around the high school here. Now, the idea behind this visit today, that hoping that Obama could rally voters to get to the polls, the election just 10 days away.
Former President Barack Obama stopping in Detroit on a limited national tour supporting Democrats, only visiting key battleground states, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia.
The thing is, we can't give in to the temptation to give up. We can't turn inward. We can't see politics as a zero-sum game where anything goes.
The rally for a standing room only crowd in the high school gym, meant to get Democrats to turn out to vote, playing heavily on abortion and voting rights, issues that were animating over the summer but have fallen slightly from the front of voters' minds as inflation has been on the rise.
The most personal of healthcare choices should be made by a woman and her doctor and not politicians. Here in Michigan, this isn't even theoretical. Abortion rights are literally on the ballot.
In response to the visit, the Michigan Republican Party saying in a statement, Gretchen Whitmer's desperation is showing as she brings in establishment reinforcements to campaign with her ahead of Election Day. Barack Obama's presence in Michigan does not signal what she thinks it does. Obama's visit comes as the races in Michigan have begun to tighten, as Election Day is just over a week away. Polling averages now showing Governor Gretchen Whitmer's double-digit lead from the end of summer shrinking to just 3 points. And other races across the state, including those that have the potential to flip the U.S. House, are on the line for Democrats. Obama firing up the crowd before getting off stage.
Let's get to work. Thank you, Detroit. Thank you, Michigan. I love you. Let's go do it.
Now, Mr. Obama only mentioned the GOP gubernatorial candidate Tudor Dixon once by name when he was talking about a recent report that came out showing a video of a monologue from her show back in 2020 on a conservative online news outlet where she said that Democrats wanted to, quote, topple the U.S. because they lost the Civil War. That is something that historians and fact checkers have pushed back against. Now, in response to her name being brought up today by the former president, Tudor Dixon sent us this, saying in part, Gretchen Whitmer is panicking because she's been exposed as a failed governor and is completely unable to defend her record. Not even this last-minute fly-in from Obama can erase all the lies and broken promises. And Sandra will have that complete statement up for you right now on clickondetroit.com. In Detroit, Grant Herms, Local 4.
All right, Grant, thank you. Meantime, Republican challenger for Governor Tudor Dixon took her campaign to the city of Detroit today. She was joined by Tulsi Gabbard for this weekend's events across the Metro Detroit area. Today's meet and greet took place this afternoon. This was at Armando's in Southwest Detroit. Today is a kickoff of a 10-day-long bus tour. All right, time now for a check of the weather on this Saturday night. And it was a pretty foggy start to your Saturday. If you were outdoors, you saw a lot of this. Take a look at video from this morning. This was at the Big House in Ann Arbor. Forewarned weather meteorologist Brian Sherman is here now joining us with a look at the forecast. And Brian, it was a kind of a strange start to the morning weather-wise.
Yeah, that's right, Sandra. Dense fog for most everyone early this morning across all of southeastern Michigan. And it looks like we could redo that again overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. A different picture here on Tower Cam over at the Big House in Ann Arbor. Plenty of sunshine and seasonable temperatures as you're heading outside this evening. 59 right now here in Detroit as well as over in Ann Arbor. 61 over in Lapeer and 55 right now over in Monroe. As we go through the evening hours tonight, expect a little more cloud cover to work in. We're into the 40s by 8 to 10 o'clock tonight, dropping into the low 40s, upper 30s overnight with some of that dense fog before sunrise tomorrow morning, but rain's on the way tomorrow as well. I'll break down when you need the umbrella and your complete 4-1 forecast. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Sandra.
All right, Brian, thank you. Taking a look at some live pictures right now from Ann Arbor, where the Michigan Wolverines will take on the Michigan State Spartans. It is one of the most anticipated matchups for the state, and we are now less than 2 hours away from kickoff. Hobie RT live tonight in Ann Arbor with a preview of the big game. Hey, Hobie.
Yes, Sandra, a lot of green, a lot of blue here in Ann Arbor. You know, the Big House only holds around 107,000 people. There are many more people on campus today getting ready for this game, one that really divides households across the state of Michigan all year long as these two teams now come together. Now, the Wolverines and the Spartans, they've each been going in different directions this season. Of course, Michigan is undefeated at 7-0 coming into this game, while Michigan State is trying to stay perfect against Michigan since Mel Tucker got to campus. Now, this rivalry is an old one, but it's one that's also rooted in respect. Here's more from both head coaches.
Old cliche, I mean, throughout the records is very true, and it doesn't matter. I mean, both sides just want it that much.
I believe that there's a respect factor when in the best rivalries. There's a respect factor, even though there is an element of dislike and hatred.
Well, kickoff isn't coming up until 7:30 here in Ann Arbor, but you can best believe that there's a lot of anticipation building as these two rivals meet up. We'll have much more coming up a little bit later in sports. Sandra, back to you.
Yeah, big crowd already there behind you. Thank you, Hobie. The new Powerball jackpot is now estimated to be $800 million. That increase comes after 36 drawings in a row with no grand prize winner whatsoever. The next drawing is set for tonight. Jacqueline Francis joins us live from Dearborn tonight, where a $1 million ticket was just sold. In fact, that was just this week.
It was. So this gas station in Dearborn may be on a lucky streak after selling that winning $1 million ticket right here. This is where all the magic happens. This machine has to be exhausted because customers have been rolling in all day ahead of tonight's big drawing.
If you want to play a Mega Million or you want to play a Powerball.
Tonight, Powerball is where the money is at, with a whopping $825 million drawing on the line. What would you do if you won?
I'll disappear.
Where to?
I don't know.
What would you do if you won?
Oh, I would give so much of it away, and especially to children who are aging out of foster care.
Do you feel lucky?
Is that English so much?
A lot of people have a lucky feeling about this Shell station in Dearborn after it sold the winning numbers earlier this week. So earlier this week, you sold the $1 million winning ticket.
Right.
Did they come forward?
Not yet.
The winner still missing in action. Do you think they still might come forward?
Oh yeah, for sure they will, and they're gonna give me some money too.
So whether or not that person comes forward, the gas station is still awarded $20,000 for selling that winning ticket. Looking ahead to tonight's drawing, that is at 11 o'clock tonight. We're wishing everyone good luck. Live in Dearborn, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
All right. Thank you, Jacqueline. So much more to come. Stay with us. We'll be right back after a break.